Shalom, shalom, shalom. Yahweh Shem Yahushai Barakatham. All right, I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rechak Kudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. All right, in today's lesson, I wanted to go into dealing with, the water, bro. Dealing with the reality of being a martyr. Okay, and that's why I titled it, what if I have to die? All right, which, it's a reality, all right, that some of us will have to face, and we touch on it, we touch on the topic of, having to go through that, but Lord willing, I wanted to do a video exhorting, all right, the believers, okay, that in the case, since we don't know, we don't know who's going to be a martyr, we don't know how Yahweh Shem Yahushai has set your path to be, and you could be a child, you could be a woman, you could be a man, it doesn't matter. The Most High could set it to where you end up being a martyr. And so, Lord's willing, I could get some precepts to, to exhort you, all right, to exhort us, that when we're faced with a situation like that, all right, to face it courageously, all right, and to go through it boldly, all right, but it's really all about the perspective, all right, and the mindset you carry going into it, all right. So let me just load up this precept real quick, because the scriptures do say, all right, the scriptures do say that they are going to be martyrs. Okay, you are going to have particulars or individuals who will be put to death, all right, for the sake of the Lord, for the word of the Lord. It's happened before in the past, all right. Now you got to look at it, because when you look at men like Paul, Peter, all these different men, Stephen, Paul knew he was going to die. Peter knew he was going to die, but they went through it. Paul went up. They were people that told Paul, hey, don't go up there. Don't, I believe it was to Jerusalem or so. They said, if I'm not mistaken, it was Agabus who told him not to go because he would be put to death. And Paul knew that, and he said, like, he was ready for it. Okay. And he willingly went up knowing his time was up. Okay. And so, yeah, you're going to have individuals get delivered. You're going to have individuals go through certain things, but still get, delivered from death, at the end of it. But you are going to have some individuals that are going to have to die, all right, for the testimony of Yahushai. Okay, as the Lord told his disciples, there be some of you standing here that shall not taste of death. Some of you, okay, till they see the Son of Man coming. All right, but there's going to be some others, and we don't know how the Most High is going to decide that. We don't know how he's going to set it up, who he has it written for them to go through that, but we know that somebody's going to have to go through it. So now I'm going to start off here with the book of Revelation, chapter 6, verse 9. All right, and it says, and when I opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word, all right, slain for the word of the Most High and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? Okay, and, this happened 2,000 years ago, all right, and it's going to happen again. Okay, you had the different apostles and certain different believers that were slain for the word of the Most High, okay, and for the testimony which they held. And that's the, that's what we need to understand, is that, it's one thing to say that, well, if I die, if I got to be a martyr, hey, so be it. But it's another thing to be standing there, however they're going to do it, but to be standing there and to see it and to witness it and, have it actually sink into your mind of, a couple seconds before you lose your life, or you walking up to, whether it's a guillotine or however, they want to do it, you walking up to your death, that's not necessarily the easiest thing to go through. All right. But it's in that moment is very crucial, the thoughts that are going through your mind, because one wrong thought, one thought of doubt could slip demons in there, and that's it. All right, so we're gonna have some examples here of individuals that went through, that were martyrs, that went through certain painful deaths and tortures, but they took it. Now you gotta understand too, man. The Most High has set it up to where the elect that are gonna be martyrs are gonna be martyrs. They're not gonna. You're not. If you are of the elect, and the Lord says you're gonna be a martyr, you're not gonna get there and say, "Whoo, whoa, that blade looks kind of sharp. You know what? Ah, Lord God, I think I'm gonna have to pass on this one." No, whoever it is, when you get to that point, you're gonna be able to do it. There's gonna be a spirit that's gonna come upon you, and it's gonna allow, the Lord is gonna have it to where you're gonna be able to go through whatever it is He wants you to go through. And don't forget, you know, pain is nothing. Pain is nothing. The Most High can numb you to where you don't feel any pain at all. You ever like sat down maybe in a certain position for so long that you don't feel your leg anymore? You gotta like shake your leg or your hand. Your hand is dead or your leg is dead. Basically, the blood is still. It's not really flowing through it, and you gotta thaw it out. Or like you outside in the winter and it's so cold. And then when you come home, you can't really feel. You don't really get that feel in your hand till you warm it up. All right, and you gotta understand that happens naturally, right? Now, the Most High could do it to where He just, boop, you know what I'm saying? He just taps something inside your head or inside your spirit or inside your body. The same way the Most High can make you go blind, He was able to blind Paul. He has control over your spirit and He has control over your body. So it's nothing for the Most High to say, hey, well, they may have you in an interrogation room, and they may have all these different torture weapons and techniques and all of that. They roll open the joint. He takes out a sharp ass blade. You know what this is? You know what I'm saying? And he shows you like pictures of other people and how they cut them up and burnt them and all of that. And you might be scared at first. You might be sitting there like, yo, Lord, please, like, I'm not gonna, betray you, but please hold me through this. And they could, they got those little razor things. It's like a little handle, but it got a little razor on it, and he's bringing it closer. And you might be sitting there, and the Lord can, and I mean, in that moment, the Lord can have it go infinite ways. There's literally infinite amount of ways the Lord can have it to where you don't get harmed or you're able to go through it. The Lord can have it to where the saw just goes, and then the second it touches your finger, it breaks, and they keep trying, but they can't cut you. Or the Lord can have it to where your finger might get cut off, and you like, and you look at it and you're like, oh shit, my finger's off, but you don't feel it. They may start cutting, piercing, and all that, and you're not feeling anything. And you're able to just keep going, and you talking shit to them. That's all you got. Damn, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna need more than that to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Or like whatever it may be. And you may just be in that. Hey, shalom, Zaquan. You may be in that and you just might not feel any pain at all. The Lord can have it to where your spirit comes out of, however He does it, it's like you out, but you in, and you seeing what they're doing, but you're not feeling it. The Most High, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, can do a various amount of things in that. But understand that for His elect, all right, for His elect, when he, you know what I'm saying, He says that, look, I love you, but you're going to have to die for me. If I love you, but you're going to have to die for me, I'm not going to make it something that you're not going to be able to bear. I don't want to, I'm not sick like that where I want to watch you suffer, but you just have to go through it. But guess what? I'm going to be with you. And if the Most High is with you, man, son, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing that can happen to you, man. So now this is the book of Revelation 14 and 13. And hey, it could look like, you're about to get tortured, but that could be the moment the Most High gives you spiritual power. I saw a brother put sign. Yeah. He's because all the Akim not gonna get spiritual power. Yeah, we don't know exactly who's gonna get it, So that's also one thing to prepare your mind for as well. And I'm gonna get this precept, but don't you know what I'm saying? And I've mentioned this before, but don't put an expectation on how the Most High is supposed to deliver you. Okay, because you're preparing yourself. You might be preparing yourself for disappointment. You know, don't be on some, oh, when the time comes, you already imagine, well, and hey, sometimes you run simulations in your mind, right? But don't let it be something to where, oh, when they come, I'm already picturing how the Most High is going to deliver me. Like, at the second they kick down the door, I'm turning into the Hulk and I'm smashing their faces in, you know? Or I'm doing some martial arts stuff and, you know what I'm saying, somebody's getting hurt. But then what happens if they kick down your door and then you're not transforming? You put in the hand signs and then they freaking gumbutt you in the face and you're like, yo, that shit hurt. And the Most High, you know, because what are you gonna do? You're gonna lose faith? Oh Lord, damn, I'm bleeding. What the yo? I thought I was gonna get spiritual. The Most High didn't tell you that. He said he's gonna lift up a standard. He didn't come and tell you specifically, hey, when the time comes, this is exactly what I'm gonna do for you. He didn't tell you that. He just told you to have faith. You know, maybe the Most High was planning to where they round you up and they put you in a car, and on your way, then he sends an angel to deliver you. But in your mind, you already like, nah, 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 nah. The way he's going to deliver me is I'm going Super Saiyan and I'm shooting laser beams at these people. But maybe that's not how the Most High wants to deliver you. So you out here on some, and then they beat your ass and then they put you in the car and then you get delivered. But you didn't have to go through the ass beating, you know? So we got to really just go with the flow with how Yahweh Shem Yahushua is going to set it up for us. But this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 13. It says, and I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, write, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them. So, and we're going to get an account, all right, in the book of Maccabees dealing with an individual by the name of Eleazar. And that he was a very wise man because, and a strong man at that. You know, going into the way he was put to death and the way he took his death. All right. Because as it says, their works do follow them. Now, you mean to tell me, I just take maybe a diligent individual, right? You've been going out there constantly. You've been enduring. I mean, yo, sometimes it's so cold. You can't feel your fingers. You can't feel your lips. You know, you're trying to read, but you know, you've gone through that winter after winter after winter. You've gone through whatever it is that's come your way. You know, kept the faith. And you mean to tell me that this one obstacle in front of you, which is to finish it, to complete it, you know, and if it has to be by giving up your life, you're going to throw away all of that. Because, hey, look, everything you do for the Lord, if it comes down to being a martyr and you turn your back on the Lord, it's not going to matter. All the things you've done, it's not going to matter. I give you an example. Judas Iscariot. Prior to Judas betraying the Lord, he was doing things. He was a disciple of the Lord. He was following the Lord. He was performing miracles and all of that. He was a part of the 12, okay, up until he wasn't. And now what do we think of Judas Iscariot for? Do we think of Judas Iscariot and think of all the things he did? Damn, he was really with the Lord. Yo, he was rolling with the Lord. He was doing this. We don't, to be honest, we don't remember Judas Iscariot for that. We remember him for what he did at the end. We remember him as the man who betrayed Yahushua. That's what we remember Judas Iscariot for. See? So now he could come back and say, well, but hold up. Before that, I was doing, I healed that person right there. I did this. I did that. You know what I'm saying? I was doing all this, that, and the third. What about that? It's not going to matter. Because the big impact is how you finished. How did you finish? So what if I have to die? Are you prepared for that? You know, look at Stephen. Take Stephen for an example. Now, the scriptures don't tell you exactly what the Lord did to Stephen's body as he was going through that, but you got to really piece two and two together. Wait, Stephen is getting stoned, right? You getting stoned to death. That's not an easy thing. You need to understand that when people are stoning you to death, they're not saying, let me get a small rock, let me get a pebble. They're grabbing stones that could fit in your hand, and they're launching those stones at you. They're not saying, let me aim below the belt. Let me not aim for his eyeballs. No. So you could get hit in your eye. You could get hit in your nose. You could get hit in your loins. You could get hit in your shins. Imagine a sharp-ass stone hitting your shins. That's painful, right? So as Stephen is getting stoned to death, you don't, as we're reading it, you don't hear Steph, you know what I'm saying? Oh, my kneecaps. Oh, this. Oh, damn. You don't hear that. You just hear him basically seeing the Yahushua and, asking the Lord to receive him. So then you got to think, wait, hold on. Stephen is getting stoned to death. Being stoned to death is a painful thing. People are usually screaming in agony, but Stephen is not screaming in agony. It's like he's not even there. He doesn't even feel it. His mind, he's out, he's somewhere else. He's already looking at the Lord and he's talking to the Lord like he's coming, like, Lord, I'm coming up. So what was going on? The Lord had to have put a special spirit on him to where he wasn't even complaining about the pain. He didn't, just like the 7 brothers in the book of Maccabees that we're also going to read about, So, let's actually go to the book of 2nd Maccabees. All right, and as it says in Romans 15:4, that these things were written aforetime for our learning, right? So we got to look at these things and say, well, hey, they went through it, they went through some pretty painful things, So we got to understand that look, man, the Lord could have favor, everything could go chill. You could live a life where you don't really like go through extreme hardships, and then the Lord is like, boom, you're gonna be a martyr. Like, you don't know. You're not gonna know until you know. And then when you get to that point, you have to go through it. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you're a man, woman, or child. If the Lord says you got to be a martyr for me, you got to be a martyr. Oh, Lord, I'm too young to die. What? No. All right. So this is the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 18. Let me see. Shalom, shalom. That's right. Babylon must die. Romans 10 and 17. So then faith cometh not by hearing and hear. Slakia. So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of the Most High. See, so you, like, right now, there's a reason we got to do these videos to exhort and to, okay, and that's to build up your faith. That's so when we go through times like this, trust me, man, when you can read a certain scripture, and we understand it. But when you're actually going through a certain scriptural like, situation, those scriptures, they're not just words anymore. They keep you going. They put that, that fire in you, and trust and believe, man. Trust and believe, man. Look, man, they when that whole situation, like a year or some change or so ago, with the whole Jersey City shooting, and they try to come after us, and FBI coming to brothers' houses and calling, and hey, da. So trying to interrogate brothers and all of that. Guess what? We have family members. Of course they were bugging out. Tripping. Oh, what's going on? Why are they here? What did you do? Da. And they on some like, stop whatever it is. You can't do that anymore. The most I don't want you. What do you mean? And all this, that, and the third. And you, of course, we're still human. So you're gonna, you like, damn, man, but at the end of the day, it didn't phase us, because we have the scriptures. Because we know, what kind of scriptures will come into mind? The scriptures about what the Lord said, Matthew 24. The scriptures about, the different situations that men of the Lord were in. Scriptures that say that look ye in the past and see whoever trusted in the Lord. All right, and where did the Lord forsake them? These scriptures came to mind, and when you read them, they comfort you. They literally calm you down, because you're not alone. You're not the only one who's in that situation. You know that the Lord said it was going to happen. And instantly, instead of stress, instead of discomfort, instead of restlessness, you get a feeling of joy, of like, oh, shoot. You know what I mean? Like, I'm reading it, and this is what the Lord said will happen, to those that believe in him. And it's actually happening. So I should rejoice. Why the hell should I be stressed? The Lord said this is what's gonna happen. But when it happens, don't be sad. Because you're doing it, it's happening to you for my name's sake. So you're like, oh shit. I mean, oh, this is keep it coming. You know what I mean? Keep it coming. Because that means I'm doing something right. You know, and then you pray to the Lord, and you show the Lord that, look, Lord, hey, you know what I'm saying? This ain't gonna stop. This ain't gonna stop us. You know, Satan gotta come harder than that, because we not finna be stopped by that. You know? Especially you thinking you mean to tell me you want me to miss out on salvation over this? Come on. No. All right. So as it says, faith cometh by hearing of the word. So as us who have the knowledge, is we have to not only teach, but we have to exhort and build up, and edify. See, it's one thing to teach somebody that doesn't know something so they can know it, but it's another thing to edify or exhort somebody that already knows. And that's the beauty of the scriptures, and the beauty of the truth is that it doesn't matter who you are or what you know. You can hear a video or listen to, a visual epistle, and, regardless, even if it's the same scriptures that you know of, it's just the spirit that the Lord puts through that video. It'll either boost your spirit up, or it'll just it'll light something in you. But it's funny because it's the same scriptures. You could read these scriptures, but it's the same scriptures, but it's just, and that's why, when you teach, you gotta be in it. You gotta speak with belief. Matter of fact, that's the title. That's the title for another video. You gotta speak with belief. Speak like you believe what you're saying. Because when you teach and you speak with passion and you speak like you believe what you're saying, you know what? That catches fire. And whoever's listening can feel what you're feeling through the words, because it's the same spirit. And as they're watching, they could feel, hey, I'm saying it because it's happened to me. I'll be watching a video and, brothers, elders, they going in and they mentioning this. And I'm like, I feel that, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel the energy, because you can tell that they believe what they're saying, and in turn, it strengthens your belief. You listening, you like, Khan, you know what I'm saying? You like, Khan, and it's just like, it just hit your spirit, the right way. All right. So now let's get into it. This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 18. So it says, Eleazar, one of the principal scribes, an aged man, and of a favored countenance, was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. Now, I'm gonna see, because depending on how the spirit goes, I might just cover the story of Eleazar. If the spirit permits, I might cover the other story with the 7 brothers. But if I don't cover that today, then Lord's willing, tomorrow, I'll go into that. But let's deal with this one for now. So as it says here, Eleazar, which was one of the principal scribes, see, when we hear of scribes and Pharisees, where we most of the time you may think of wicked scribes and Pharisees, but not all scribes or all Pharisees were wicked. You had wicked ones, but to be a scribe is not wicked, right? So during the time of the Greeks, during the time of the Greek rulership, all right, over us, namely the Seleucid Empire, I believe at this time it was Antiochus Epiphanes, who was still the king over us, putting hell on us, right? So during this time, you had an old man by the name of Eleazar. Okay, it says he was an aged man and of a well-favored countenance. And it says he was constrained to open his mouth and to eat swine's flesh. Right now, when you look up the word constrained, it says appearing forced or overly controlled. All right, so it says here, strained, unnatural, awkward, embarrassed, restrained. So basically it was against his will, and they wanted him to eat pork, okay, to eat swine. And it says, but he, choosing rather to die gloriously than to live stained with such an abomination, spit it forth. So that means that they actually put it in his mouth against his will, So now you can imagine that. they're like, yo, you got to eat this pork. And they, and they put it in his mouth. And he's like, nah. You know what I'm saying? So he spat it out. It says, and came forth of his own accord to the torment. So it's like you either eat the pork, and show your allegiance to Antiochus, or you're getting tortured or you're getting put to death. And he spit it out, and it says he went of his own accord to the torment. Whatever it is, hey, do it to me. It says, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand out against such things as are not lawful for love of life to be tasted. Okay, so it's basically saying that he went to the place of torture by himself, okay, willingly, okay, as it behooved them to come that are resolute to stand against such things. So anybody that's of that mindset, this would be something that you would do. Okay, so verse 21 says, but they that had the charge of that wicked feast, for the old acquaintance they had with the man, taking him aside, besought him to bring flesh of his own provision, such as was lawful for him to use, and make as if he did eat the flesh taken from the sacrifice commanded to the king. So those that were put in charge of that feast, now they could have been wicked Israelites that sold out, or they could have been Syrians, heathens, Edomite Syrians that were put in charge. Basically they knew him, they were acquainted with him before, so they said, look, instead of eating pork, how about this? Now check this out. We're gonna make you a sweet deal, right? Bring whatever it is you do eat, whatever you can eat, and just say that just act like you're eating pork, and we'll let you slide. All right. It says, verse 22. It says, and in so doing, he might be delivered from death. See, we don't want to kill you, bro. Look, man, just act like you eating pork, and then you good. It says, and as for the old friendship with them, find favor. Okay. Verse 23, but he began to consider discreetly, and as became his age, and the excellency of his ancient years, and the honor of his gray head, whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. Therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. So Eleazar, man, he wasn't just a regular old man. All right. Now, verse 23, that's the key part right there. That was that moment of decision, right? The moment of decision. Where he's like, all right, they're telling me to do this, but then he started to think. It says he considered discreetly, right? As became his age and the excellency of his ancient years. Remember, he was basically a favorite, meaning he lived his life lawfully. He was raised in the right ways. He did what he had to do. So the excellency of his ancient years, okay, up until that point, the things that he had done, it says, and the honor of his gray head. So in that old age, he was honored, and he's remembering all these things. Whereon was come, and his most honest education from a child. Now, as an Israelite, when you're a child, you would have almost like a school, right? It's not like today, but anyway, it would be a place where they would teach the children. You would have certain individuals who specifically would teach the children from scrolls. All right, this is the name of the Most High. This is this is that, as well as their parents, but they would teach them, and also, especially if you were maybe like a priest, or you were going to be raised up to be a scribe, or, a chief priest or whatever, you would be raised a certain way. You will be taught, you will be educated as a child in the ways of the Lord, in understanding the law. What does this mean? How do you judge somebody according to this? Knowing the history, all these things were required. So being a scribe, he was educated in these ways from a child, and he's remembering all of this, right, in that moment. And he's seeing death, and they offer him this offer, saying, look, we're not even gonna forcefully kill you, So he's thinking, damn, and it says, or rather the holy law made and given by the Most High. He remembered the laws of the Lord. It says, therefore he answered accordingly, and willed them straightways to send him to the grave. I'd rather die, you know, than to even do that. It just killed me, bro. So it says, verse 24, for it becometh not our age, said he, in any wise to dissemble, whereby many young persons might think that Eleazar, being fourscore years old and 10, so he was 90 years old, all right? Fourscore is 80, because a score is 20. 20 times 4 is 80, and 10. 80 plus 10 is 90. It says, we're now gone to a strange religion. So he said, look, it's not, you know, it doesn't become of me, all right, because I'm going to leave a bad example, whereby it says, whereby many young persons might think. So even if I don't eat pork, but I make it look like I'm eating pork, guess what? It's almost like selling out, right? Because he's going to say, the younger ones, what are they going to think? They're not going to know that I made a deal. They're not going to know that you offered me this deal. All they're going to see is that in their minds, I ate pork, right? So like it says, might think that Eleazar, being 90 years old, were now gone to a strange religion. So it's almost like, you know, you labor and labor and labor and labor and labor, and then you hit, you know, a certain amount of years, and they're like, damn, after 20 years, he sold out. Basically, that's what Eleazar is saying. I ain't gonna do this, because even if I don't eat pork, it's gonna look like, damn, after all that, all those many years, after everything he did, he ended up, you know, converting to a strange religion. All right. It says, verse 25, so Eliezer is continuing to speak. It says, and so they, through mine hypocrisy. Now, why is that? Because you have been taught in the right ways. And I'm pretty sure you would have taught others and left a good example, right? You know, follow the laws of the Most High. You know, do this, do that. Don't do this, don't do that. And you're going to teach people that. You're going to teach the younger ones that. You're going to be respected as somebody who teaches the right way, who follows the right way. But it comes to the point where, you know, your life is put under threat, and you out here and you know what I mean, you basically give in. You're a hypocrite. You're saying, hey, don't do it, but then you end up going and doing it. All right? You got to keep that in mind, because the Most High hates hypocrites. So here it is, you laboring, you practicing, you preaching, but when it comes time to practice, then it's a different story. Hey, man, you in a sense, you would be like another Judas Iscariot, because at the point of death, you would have betrayed the Lord to save your own life. But then again, think about it. Hold on. If I go to the spirit world, I'm at peace. And I'm going to know for sure. If I die, all right, for Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai's sake, because I don't want to betray the Lord. I don't want to turn on the Lord. I don't want to denounce the name of the Lord, whether they're calling me a terrorist or whatever they're saying, whatever false accusations they're bringing. If I die for the Lord, I know, like Paul said, that there's going to be a crown there waiting for me. That when I go to the spirit world, you know what I'm saying, I'm pointing down at it like, Lord, this is how I got here. This is what you said. You know, if the dead in your house shall rise first. So I'm set. You know, it's assured. I don't got to go through any more trials. I know I'm coming back, and I'm gonna be on a chariot with a new body. That's set. You know. So look, man. If you see a guillotine, if you see death, that's not an exit, but that's an entrance. You got to think about it like that. You know. All right, I'm looking at this guillotine. Don't think of it as like an exit. Damn, I'm about to die. Oh my gosh, my loved ones. Like, what else you gonna have in this world? What do you look at the world today, man? What do you really want to live in this world doing? If the Lord says it's your time to go for his namesake, and you're like, nah, Lord, I'm gonna betray you for what? You gonna betray the Lord for a prison planet? You gonna betray the Lord for a planet that people walking around with chips in them and are complete slaves? Come on now. You're going to betray the Lord for a couple more months, if that, until nuclear destruction destroys the land? You got to think about it. Like, what are you really going to betray the Lord for? What is really worth betraying the Lord for? So you got to remember, man, when you're in that position, remember those words. Remember the scriptures. Remember Eleazar. Remember Yahushai. Remember all these individuals, because you're going to see them in the kingdom. And each and every one of them is going to have drink of their cup. Each and every one of them is going to have bore, however you say it, their cross. And each and every one of them is going to be there. And you're going to be there too. But where are you going to be? Are you going to be seated with them? Or are you not going to be seated with them? And for all eternity, in the back of your mind somewhere, you're going to be like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I labored with these individuals. I used to watch that brother. I used to learn here. And they were able to do it, but why wasn't I able to do it? Were they not under the same pressure? Were they not under the same threat? You know? You got to man up and you got to just do it, man. And you got to look, like I said, you got to look at it as an entrance to salvation. You know, it's like almost like a fast forward into the kingdom, you know? So, hey, what if I got to die? Well, guess what? If you have to be a martyr for the Lord, do it honorably, you know? Go out honorably, man. You know? Hey, man, to hell with this society, man. This is what the Lord said. The Lord told us. You know, to be fair, he did tell us, look, some of you are going to have to die for me. All right. You know, and it's not going to be the sweetest thing, but it's necessary. And if it is necessary and if it's the will of the Lord, then we're going to have to do it. All right. So it says, keep going. So where we at? Verse 25. It says, and so they, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time, through mine hypocrisy and desire to live a little time and moment longer, should be deceived by me, and I get a stain to my old age and make it abominable. See? After all the... Because, you see, it takes years. It takes years. It takes time. It takes diligence to build a reputation based on how you live your life. But it only takes one moment to destroy it all. You see what I mean? I'll give you an example. If you're building a house, even a mansion, that takes a while. You think about all the work that goes through in building a house, laying the floor plans, and then setting up this and then setting up that, and the expensive couches and the expensive TV and the sink and the electricity, all of these things in the house, all these years, all this time, all this money you spend building this house. And in a matter of hours or minutes, if a fire breaks in your house, it can destroy all of that. And it's just like that. So you see how easy it is to destroy all of that? But it takes so long to build. So Eliezer is saying, look, man, you need to tell, man, I spent 90 years going through, you know what I'm saying, doing the right thing. And in this one instant, you want me to erase 90 years of hard work, 90 years of diligence, 90 years of faithfulness in a matter of minutes out of fear? No, you got to think about it. You're going to really erase all those hardships, all the things you've gone through, you know, all the things the Lord has done for you, all the things that have led up to this position for you to be put in this position just in this one instance. So, as Eliezer said, verse 26, for now, the present time, I should be delivered from the punishment of men. Meaning, if he eats that pork, he could escape that punishment that they would give him. Yet should I not escape the hand of the Almighty, neither alive nor dead. You hear that? So though I may escape the punishment of men right now, you know, they might not put me to death, or they might not starve me or torture me. You're never gonna escape the hand of the Most High, neither alive nor dead. That says a lot, man. You can't escape the Most High, neither alive nor dead. Because why? If you're on the earth, right, and you turn around and you say, look, Lord, I'm scared of whatever Esau's going to do to me, so I ended up selling out. Or, I'm not going to do this. I can't go through with this. The Lord's going to look at you like, oh, okay, bet. Like, I can't touch you because you're on earth. The Lord could harm your ass while you're on the earth. But then guess what? If the Lord harms you and then kills you while you're on the earth, where do you think you're going? You're going right up there to the spirit world. And who you going to meet? You're going to meet the Most High. You ain't going to escape the Most High whether you in heaven, in the spirit world, or whether you on the earth. There's no escape from the Most High. But it tells you in the book of Job that when in the spirit world, there the wicked cease from troubling and the weary are at rest. So Esau can't hurt you in the spirit world, but the Most High can hurt you anywhere, man. All right. As the elder put, stay in the spirit, 144, Hebrews 10 and 30. It says, for we know him that hath said, vengeance belongeth unto me, I will recompense, saith the Lord. And again, the Lord shall judge his people. Verse 31, it is a fearful thing to fall into the hand of the living God. Okay? That is the point right there, man. It is, man, you take Susanna, for example. She was a smart woman. Because when those old adulterers, you know, they pulled her, yo, we elders, you know, if you don't let us, hey, if you don't let us get up in that, you don't spread those legs for us, we are gonna, that'll be the end of you, you know? What you think they're gonna believe you over us? We're gonna go out there and we're gonna say this is what you did and you a hoe and this, that, and the third. We will ruin your life. You better let us get up in that. And she's like, look, man, I ain't gonna do that. Because I'll rather take my chances with whatever man or people will do to me than to, you know what I'm saying, to deal with the Most High. Because she had a husband, you know, and so she's gonna say, oh, she, you know what I'm saying. Thank God it wasn't Babylon. Babylon, them old men wouldn't even have to convince you. Who, you know what I'm saying, legs wide open. But she didn't do that because she feared the Lord and she said it. I'd rather fall into the hands of the Most High than to the hands of men, unless I'm saying it wrong and it's vice versa. But the meaning is I'd rather, you know, deal with whatever man could do to me than to make an enemy out of the Most High. All right. And that's that precept the elder put right there, man. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the Most High because you can't escape the Lord. King David said it. He said, if I go to the heavens, you there. If I go into hell, you there. If I go on the earth, you there. Where you going to go? Stay in the Spirit 144, Psalms 38 and 1. It says a psalm to David, to bring to remembrance, O Lord, rebuke me not in thy wrath, neither chasten me in thy hot displeasure. Okay? Why? Because King David knew the way the Lord gets, man. He knew the judgments of the Lord. And you got to understand something. The scriptures say that the Lord punished us with measure. But even that, look at what we went through, man. You mean to tell me them freaking tying one half of a man to a horse on this side and another half to a horse on that side, and them splitting the man in half, that was punishment according to measure. Okay? You having to witness your wife getting raped in a shack, men getting raped was punishment according to measure. Okay? Being drowned in the ocean, being fed to sharks, having your babies torn up and eaten by alligators, use as alligator bait. Things like Emmett Till, you know? Things like a pregnant woman getting her stomach cut open and then them stomping on the baby's head. All these things was punishment from the Lord, but it was with measure. So now you understand why King David said that. So if the Most High did that with measure, man, and he loves us, I don't want to see I don't want to see the wrath of the Lord. Or let me say, I don't want to feel the wrath of the Lord, you know? And I know all you out there, man, who have a working brain do not want to feel the wrath of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, man. No. Okay? No. You know, trust and believe that. You know, that's a scary, scary thing, man. All right? The Most High, the scriptures say, man, that the Most High charges his angels with folly. Now, what folly have you ever seen an angel do? And he could still charge an angel with folly. How do the angels tremble in the Lord's presence? And when you read of the accounts of how men reacted when they saw angels, they were shook. They were shook. They went straight down, shook. When they saw an angel. And these same angels tremble in the presence of the Most High. Do you understand what that means? And you think that's somebody you want to make an enemy out of? Yo, man, you want to cut off my fingers, bro? Cut off my fingers. You want to rip out my kneecap? Whatever you got to do. But I'd rather the Lord, I do it for the Lord than to make it, man, you don't understand. You know, because in the bigger picture, the Most High is really doing it all. On the bigger picture is really a test, you know? And when you're there, you have to remember, okay, I'm here, but I'm seeing things, but there's more to what I'm seeing than what I'm actually seeing. Yeah, okay, I'm seeing an Edomite. I'm seeing, maybe I'm in a concentration camp, right? Maybe there's a dead body in front of me. Dude just got his head chopped off. Maybe, you know, whatever the case may be, I'm seeing it. But in actuality, it's not even the Edomite doing it. You know, it's not this individual doing it. It's not that individual doing it. It's not even the guillotine. It's Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai controlling everything. All right, controlling everything, and he's looking. All right, and he's like, "What are you gonna do?" Now you feel like the Edomite, he's talking shit. Yo, get your ass over here. I'm about to cut that head off. But in reality, the Most High is putting the spirit on everybody in that moment to do it. And Yahushua is watching. Yahweh's watching. The angels are watching. Those that died already are watching. Everybody's watching. What are you gonna do? It's a test. It's a test. Are you gonna pass or are you gonna fail? And when you think of it like that, then it doesn't become so much, oh, I'm about to die, oh my gosh. But it becomes, okay, it's a test, you know, and the Lord is testing me now. And I've said so many things, you know, I've taught, man, I don't remember how many times I've meditated on how I want to be a part of the elect and I want to make it and I want to get delivered. Well, here's the test. How bad do you want it? So what if I got to die? If you got to die, these are the things you have to remember, man. Okay. Yep. Revelation 4:20, stay in the spirit 144. The 24 elders fall down before him that sat on the throne and worship him that liveth forever and ever, and cast their crowns before the throne, saying, Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power. For thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. I mean, just think about that, man. For thy pleasure. Everything you see in existence now is made for the Lord's pleasure. He wanted to be pleased. He wanted it's to please him. You know? So, and I did a video a while back dealing with that scripture where if you were created for the Lord's pleasure, but you're not pleasing the Lord, then what's your purpose? If you buy a gun, but the gun doesn't shoot, what do you do? What do you do with a gun that doesn't shoot? You know? What do you do with a car that doesn't drive? What do you do with a broken computer? What do you do with anything that's broken? All right? If it doesn't work and it can't be fixed, you throw it out and you get a new one. So guess what? We've been created to do a certain job. So what does the Lord do with a defect? What does the Lord do with an individual that's not going to please him? An individual that's not going to do what it is that the Lord created you to do. You're not going to serve your purpose. What's the Lord going to do with you? As it says in the book of 2nd Ezra, the multitude perish, which was born in vain. What's your purpose? Are you pleasing the Lord? No? Then that's it. You know what's going to happen? Because the Most High is going to get his pleasure one way or another. Either you please the Lord or you displease the Lord. And then he's going to be pleased by destroying you. Okay? So, let's keep going. 2nd Maccabees, chapter 6, continuing at verse 27. So Eliezer is saying, look, no matter what I do, all right, I can't escape the Lord. And trust and believe. I know better than to make an enemy out of the Lord, man. Because, look, man, let me tell you something. You could be in Eliezer's, let's say you were in Eliezer's shoes or his stead, and you had to make this decision. And you thought all of this, but you said, you know what? Nah, yo, give me some lamb, bro. I'm going to say this is pork and I'm going to eat it. You do realize that the Most High could get so angered by that, right? That he could have it to where you eat the lamb and you choke. And he ain't even going to have you die right away. You choke, and it's like a long choke, and you painful choking, and then you finally die. And then you go to the spirit world, and then the Most High sends you back on the earth again, but this time he sends you with cerebral palsy or some mental defect, you know? And you just miserable your whole life. And then you die. And then you go back to the spirit world. And then the Most High sends you back on the earth again when it's time to go. But this time, you're born poor, you're born crippled, and you can't even speak. And you suffer your whole life that way. And then you go back to the spirit world. And then the Most High sends you back again in the next generation that you got to come back. And this time, he sends you, and then maybe you're born fine. But then at a young age, you get into an accident and you get burned. All right? You get burned to the point where you become paralyzed with just painful burns. And you're in agonizing pain. and you're stuck in a hospital bed and you can't even speak. And then eventually you die. Maybe some wicked individual comes in there and puts a pillow on your face and then chokes you out, but you can't even move. And then the Most High sends you to the spirit world, and they send you back on the earth again, but this time you born brain dead. And your spirit is just in your body for God knows how long. And you just in there. And I don't even know what that feels like, but I don't want to know what that feels like. But you're just there, a vegetable, for your whole life. Do you see the hell that the Most High can put on you? Now, those individuals that put Eleazar to death, you think they could do that to him? No. They put him to death, that's it. He's going to come to the Lord. They ain't going to be able to do that to him. The Most High could do that. You can't escape the Lord. He could keep sending, like, that's the fear of the Lord, man. You know, and you just in the cycle of just hell constantly. Do you see? And what I just gave are just little minor examples, man. The Most High is the king of terrors, you know. So that you got to think about all these things, man. All right. That's right. This is the brother I am Hezekiah. Nahum 1 and 3. It says yeah, that's Nahum 1 and 3. It says the Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all quit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm and in the clouds, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Yeah. So you got the actual wicked being Esau, and you got wicked individuals. And it says he would not at all quit the wicked. You never escape the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Never. Never. All right. That's the fear of the Lord, man. Think about that. Always think about that. When you get tempted to do some wickedness, know that you're never going to escape the Lord. Know that you're going to get judged for that. Know that the Lord is going to pay you back for that. Okay? And hey man, if you got to die for the Lord, you got to do it out of fear of what the Lord will do to you, but also out of that drive, man. You know, out of that desire, you know, for everything that comes with it. All right, so continuing, verse 27, it says, wherefore now, manfully changing this life, I will shew myself and one as mine age requireth, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. Okay? And think about this. This was pork. And it shows you, man, it's so sad because you had this man go through all of this and be put to death because he didn't want to eat pork. But then you turn around and you got Jake willingly, and you tell them not to do it, and they'll curse you out, and they'll willingly go and eat pork. And here it is, you had an individual risk his whole life, whatever he had to go through, because he wouldn't eat pork. Man. But it shows you the difference. So it says, verse 28, and leave a notable example to such as be young to die willingly and courageously for the honorable and holy laws. And when he had said these words, immediately he went to the torment. They that led him, changing the good will they bear him a little before into hatred. See, so they were willing to cut him a plan, but now they hated him. They got upset. They like, all right, F you then, old, you know what I'm saying, old nig, you know, I'll, man, kill his ass, because I'm trying to do you good. You out here talking about some, you know, whatever, man, you know. It says, because the foresaid speeches proceeded as they thought from a desperate mind. But when he was ready to die with stripes, man, they beat him. 90 years old, man. It says he groaned and said, it is manifest unto the Lord that hath the holy knowledge, that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul am well content to suffer these things because I fear him. You got to keep this in mind, man. And remember what Paul said, that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared to the glory that shall be revealed in us. So the more painful it is, the more worth it it'll be. You know, that shit hurts. That means that the kingdom is going to be greater, literally, you know, because the more it hurts, the greater the kingdom has to be, so that the pain doesn't compare to the kingdom. You know, if this is how big the kingdom is and this how small the pain is, but then the pain comes like this, the kingdom can't stay like this. The kingdom got to be bigger so that the pain doesn't even come close to it. So whatever it is we have to go through, just keep in mind that whatever we're going to get for it is going to be so far greater than that. All right? It says verse 31, it says, and thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a notable, or it's like a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but also unto all, but unto all his nation. Okay, and that's why we have it here now, to remember these different things. Which it wasn't just him. You have many other individuals, man. But remember, even if you have to die. So what if you have to die, man? All right. Being a martyr or death in this life for the Lord is an entrance to salvation. That's what it is. Death in this life for the Lord is an entrance to salvation. And we don't know, all right, we might be faced with that. Your loved one might be faced with that. But always trust and believe that Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai truly loves us, and he will make it to where even if we have to go through it, some way, somehow, we're gonna be able to do it, man. Okay? And when we finally make it through, this is literally our last go around. And when we finally make it through, man, trust me, we'll never ever have to go through something like this again. You know? So one last time, you know, just finish strong. You know, finish strong. And to close out, I'm actually get this precept here in the book of Revelation 21, verse, I'm just going to go straight to the point. Revelation 21, verse 4. It says, and the Most High shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Remember that. Jacob's trouble is not to make the elect suffer, but it's to try the elect. Suffering and trying are different things. Yes, you may suffer in your trials, but the overall is not to make you suffer. That's for the 2/3, or you know, the let me say the wicked. Okay, but Jacob's trouble is going to be to try the elect. Okay, but the Lord is going to do it to where you're going to be able to endure it, and you're going to be able to come out at the end. So if you have to be a martyr, fear not, because the Lord already has it set how it is he's going to get you through it. But one way or another, you're going to get through it. All right? Just remember the different, you know, precepts, remember the exhortations, and stay faithful even unto death, and the Lord will give you that crown of life. All right? So I'm ended here. Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting unto the elect. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Barakatham to you sincere listeners. And in closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakha Kudash. Until next time, Shalom.